Assalamu alaikum. If you're someone that is solution focused, if you like being proactive in dealing with an issue and reaching peace with it, even if it's an issue where you can't work with anyone to attain peace, however, you want to attain some sort of peace within yourself, then you're in the right place. Welcome to Emotional Evolution. We share weekly content where we focus on our own emotional evolution because we believe that when we change, life around us changes. And for this week, you're talking to Amira. I am going to be going into detail around an element a week of our own emotional evolution. And this week, I thought to focus on that end bit that I just said, that when we change, life around us changes. I know for some people that alone can be triggering. And I'll give you an example of, like, for example, if someone feels like they're in an unfair relationship or an abusive relationship, they may feel like, what does that mean? What does it mean that when I change, life around me changes? The issue isn't me. And the example that we give is that we as people, anything we have in our context, it is though we are a piece in the puzzle. So anything that is currently in your life, there are certain mindset habits and patterns. There are certain constructs of thinking, like rights or wrongs, good or bads, that you hold in your mind. There may be certain actions or reactions that you have that all give room or tolerance to what you have in your vicinity. And sometimes, especially in difficult situations, you may be feeling, I have no tolerance for this behavior. I've voiced that I don't like this. I've reached out to people to fix this. However, this still is in my environment. To that, I say that I'm going to go into detail with that, but we are shaped a certain way where for some reason we're tolerating the other pieces of the puzzle around us. And whenever we feel like we've evolved to a different understanding or level, and for example, let's take that example of an abusive relationship, where you feel like you are able to assert certain boundaries, action out certain boundaries, recruit certain supports, where you can move the needle. And sometimes those supports might need to be very dramatic supports in order to create change. But in a nutshell, we hold relational dynamics like a puzzle. So if you assess anything in your life that is existing, it is somehow a piece of the puzzle that fits your shape. And the only way that changes if we literally go through a change. And sometimes the change is so subtle, it might even mean that you don't talk into something. So let's say you've got a family member that is very argumentative and you don't want to have anything to do with that argument. You can still be around them and choose not to speak into that argumentative part of them. You can actually put a boundary down and not even speak to them at all. You can even do it very pleasantly by just smiling, letting them have their argument and not speaking into it, or being very lighthearted with how they're presenting their argument and still choosing not to speak into it. That is you changing your shape. If as if you are a piece of the puzzle, you're changing shape. So they no longer, they're going to still try. If they're in the past, they were able to get to you and get argumentative, they're still going to try and hammer in because it worked in the past. You engaged in the past or you got triggered in the past. But this time they're noticing that, hey, she's not talking into it, she's not getting triggered. And eventually they're going to realize that this is pointless. So in that way, that is what we mean when we say when we change, life around us changes, because we do have choice around we might not have choice around how we were brought up to think, but we now do have a choice of how we decide to make new meanings out of life and what comes our way, and how we choose to think about something or what we choose to action out, or even the attention that we want to give on healing certain innate reactions we have. So if you have a reaction where you just freeze up and you don't create solutions, you can observe how you are and how you are in the unhealthy dynamics that you have, and you can write them down and you can choose to invest the time and the effort to change those reactions about you, or present your issues to someone else so you can create solutions around it. So, in that way, I guess I'm wanting to empower you that whatever is not feeling um, in your control, in a peaceful way, or whatever you can't like let go of or surrender to, or what you feel like you're stacking within yourself in an unhealthy way. It might be resentment, it might be hurt, it might be annoyance, where you end up kind of stacking it and then exploding in a certain way, or even taking it out on yourself. Um, there are so many amazing tools and solutions out there that can tweak your mindset, things that you might feel like you cannot change. There is so much, there's so many options available and so much change that can be implemented. And I just wanted to give you that hope, because I've definitely worked on it for myself and even with other people. And for example, for myself, I'm like a devoted lifelong learner to behavioral change. It's something that I like to implement within myself all the time. And it does help me cultivate a peaceful relationship with myself. And then when I'm at peace, I can deliver that peace outward. But when I'm in an internal um, frenzy, or I'm not feeling in my calm, parts of me is going to deliver that outward. So if I'm not in a calm and my kids come up to me, I may hold my body a certain way where I'm tense, or I'm not fully listening to them because something's playing on in my mind. So, in that way, we get to choose to become really emotionally responsible for what's in front of us. And I guess I'm inviting you to take a look at that. What part in your life feels like it's out of your control and it's not letting you be at peace? Because sometimes a situation may stay the same, it may stay difficult, but we've made peace with it, or we've learned how to meet our needs around it. And that's the whole name of the game. How do we get our basic needs met so we can attain a calm and a peace, and we can deliver better to those that are around us? Hope that makes sense. If this was fruitful for you in any way, please share this, like it, subscribe, because it will help us keep generating bigger and better content for you in the future, inshallah. Take care of yourself. Assalamu alaikum.